Hello guys, I'm Nona Prince and today we'll be talking about a Kannada film called Thithi, also known as Funeral, written and directed by Raam Reddy and co-written by Eregowda, I don't know. You let me know in the comments. Now this is the most raw filmmaking that can happen. It's literally a documentary. It's a documentation of a funeral at a place. And this is the most purest form of cinema because there's no additional music. There's only dialogues and visuals. That's it. Even the camera angles are very straightforward. There's no much use of visual language, and this is all a creative decision. It's not that they didn't know how to do that, but that was a choice that not to do it, and that really fits the film well. Look at the camera angles. They're so flat. They're so ordinary looking. And throughout the film, this is very consistent. Whenever at the end of a scene, when the characters go out of the frame, the camera stays there. There's no sudden cut directly to the next scene. The camera stays there. As it, oh, they left, now we have to go. It's always consistent throughout the film. And that's why I use the term documentary. It's like we are just waiting there looking at them. Oh, they are moving. Now let's go to the other spot and look at them. You can also consider it as a zoo. That there are these particular windows where you can stand and look inside what's happening. Guys, if you enjoyed this video, do hit that like button. Because when you do that, YouTube promotes this video and more people can watch it. And 90% of you haven't subscribed to the channel yet. That's sad. So if you are enjoying this videos, if you want to watch more, do consider subscribing and hit that bell icon to get notification whenever a new video drops. Thank you. Now this is a drama film, but there's no drama. There's no extra added drama, I would say. At no point they have dramatized a thing to overblow it or make a point out of it. It always stays authentic and real. And talking about the acting, there was no acting. There was absolutely no acting because they were all the real people of that town. It just felt that. It never felt that they're acting, they're saying dialogues. Again, adding to that documentary way of filmmaking. And maybe using non-actors is the reason that there was no drama. I remember my review for Care of Kanchapalam and I was really pissed off with the acting. That totally ruined my experience of watching that film. And here it didn't. So I'm thinking to, go back and watch that film again. Maybe it works better for me this time. Something to think about. Now, I have already seen Imayu. If you haven't seen the review, go check it out. The concept of this film and Imayu is very similar. The movie is totally drastic, totally different. The way of treatment is totally different. The execution is different. But the concept is same. Now that I've already witnessed that concept in Imayu, the concept here didn't blow me away. Because I have already seen this concept. But that doesn't change the fact that this is an amazing film. But I have to say that this is not a film for everyone. Imayu is a film that I can, tell anyone to go watch it if they are comfortable with subtitles. But this film is a little harder to recommend because it's little lengthy, I would say, and little, boring in parts. Like a cinephile will really enjoy and, appreciate this film. But a common person who I think may enjoy Imayu may not enjoy this film. He may find it boring and lengthy. Now let's talk about the themes of the films. My favorite part about a film, of course, the first one is greed. What is a family? What does it mean? The migrants are going around with their herd, how they are displacing from one place to another. We have read about them in our history textbooks. It was really fascinating to know their stories, know their lives, and in a way this film was very educational. Of course, seeing three generations and how they deal with death, and in general how everyone in the society is treating that death. That man lived for more than 100 years. There's no sadness at all. This is a celebration for them, but also a feast for some. They just want to get that good meat. We also see the journey of a boy and a girl becoming man and woman. The film also explores the old age. How when we get old, we start to become lonely. We see Gadappa, whenever his, alcohol is over, he just stops there, go back, gets alcohol and then, continues his journey. Wherever he's going, it doesn't matter. And also the view of life changes. The things we have done in the past, you think about them very differently with different perspective. That scene when Gadappa is telling about his past, that whole scene is just straightforward, straight camera, no background music to elevate our emotions about what he's telling. Just straight face on camera on him, then a reaction shot of the people. That's it. And he just says it, and I'm just imagining everything. They are not showing me anything, but I can imagine everything he's saying. And that scene ends with him saying, I don't even remember if it's true or it's just a dream I had last night. And that hits hard because, we spend our lives thinking about, I have to do this, I have to do that. This is my aim, this is an aim and all of that. But when you reach that point, reach the end, reach the finish line, your closest finish line, like anytime, anything can happen. It can happen right now too. But that time, yeah, there are more chances, of course. And you think about that, what did I do in my life? What happened that time? What happened that time? Did I live? Or I just spent my whole life running a race which was never meant for me? And that's the beauty of a film. This is not at all a thing you should take away from this film. But I did. And maybe a lot more people did. And that's why it's so fun to talk about it. There are some caste influences also. Someone says you're a Gowda, you have to have a big funeral party and everything. You have to get at least 500 people and all of that. And that leads us to the custom and the rituals around everything. There's one guy in the village that he's so stubborn about that. He's just complaining, you cannot do that, you cannot destroy our culture, do this, do that. And he has to do nothing with it. But he's still there to just make the customs right. And that's his job. Now, some customs do feel forced, like you don't need to do that. They need to change with time. But if you think about it, when these customs were made, first time, they had a thought behind it that people come together. When someone die, at least the society, the people all come together and maybe celebrate the life of the person who died. Spend some time, and I think that's why it's called 13 days. This is Tithi, and I think in we call it as Tervi, the 13th day after the death. But today the society has changed. People have become very selfish. And when you have these gatherings, when someone die, there is a financial pressure and stress on the person, on the family who lost someone. And this get together was supposed to support each other, but now it's just a financial stress. And even people, due to various reasons, they are spending money which they don't have. They're taking loans just to maintain their name in the society. And that's why this custom needs to change today. There's also an element of respect. Everyone wants validation and respect from the other. Thammanna wants it from his son as well as father, and he wants to maintain his respect even in the society. And that is also a reason that is driving him to sell his land and get that money. And also a lot of rituals were relatable to me. I have witnessed that. I have to ask you one thing that when we take the body for the cremation, women are not allowed to go there. But in the film I saw a lot of women there. So let me know what's the scene there. Now I don't know why is that the case, and I've been fortunate enough that I've only attended one funeral in my entire life. So you guys can educate me about that in the comments. Later in the film, there's a scene where one of the shepherd is thanking Kadappa for getting liquor, getting meat, getting chicken, and he's enjoying him and he's just praising him, calling him a god. But the next day, when the three sheep are missing, he's the first one to accuse Kadappa, and that also shows our human nature. We will appreciate someone who did something good for us, but if something bad happens to us, we'll be the first one to blame them. There's also a lack of consequences in a way. If you see Abhi, the son, he gambled the money which he wasn't supposed to. He had to buy the sheeps, but he did it. Then he robbed the three sheeps, and at the end he got the girl too, in a way. And he didn't face the consequences for what he did, which will in a way harm him in future. Because when we'll get consequences for his actions, he will suffer more because he didn't learn from his mistakes. And if you look at the father, Thammanna, he lost everything. He lost all the money, he lost the deal, he have no money, he has to pay his sister, and he's lost. We can also look at it with what the intention of the character was. Because Thammanna had wrong intentions, he suffered, but Abhi did not have it, so he didn't suffer. This is debatable. I also want to ask about the band when they take the body. Is that a common theme or it just happened in this case because he lived for 100 years? Let me know. And we have to talk about that old guy who was dancing in front of the band. Epic. He was amazing. He was the one who was living his life. So guys, that's it. Those are my thoughts on the film Tithi. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. If you enjoyed this video, thumbs up, share this video. If you haven't subscribed yet, check out the videos, and if you like them too, do consider subscribing, and I'll see you next time. Stay home, stay safe.